Hello everybody, it's just a quick update video. I just want to let you guys know there's a reason why I haven't been uploading the past few weeks, since like the month before June. I forget which day of the week it is right now. It's Saturday, 5th, so yeah, a few days for June's over. See, there's been some things going on in my life here recently that I've been slowly having to kind of deal with. First of all, one of these things I'm still dealing with, kind of. So there was other repercussions. But it's not the first thing I'm going to tell you about. It's going to be the last thing I'm going to tell you about because it's kind of the last thing that happened to me. Basically, first thing that happened to me is after I finished school, I was planning on getting up and just trying to record more. I was going to just genuinely try to record more for my YouTube channel. And here is the second month of summer, pretty much, and I've barely recorded. I literally haven't recorded anything for my channel. The only reason I'm recording my voice right now is just for the update video. So I'm planning on, whenever I need to, I'm going to give an update video. But I'm going to actually go add my voice to an update video. Mainly because I'm still not going to do my voice for the actual gameplay series. I'm still not going to record audio. But I'm going to record my voice for update videos. That way I don't have to find some way to just like type on screen and whatnot. But basically, for this update, I just want to go over a few things that were reasons why I haven't been able to upload. Whatnot. And I just want to let you know I do plan to upload more once like next week. Or I'm gonna here's the thing. This is Saturday. I'm gonna be uploading this tomorrow, and once the week next week happens, I'm gonna try to upload more. I'm going to be recording an episode of Soda Dungeon 2 on my tablet once I get done recording this, and I'm going to upload this, and once this is done uploading, I'm going to upload the episode of Soda Dungeon 2 that I make. So that way it'll be two uploads uploaded on Sunday. But just thing to know, the reason why I haven't been able to record is, first of all, for the first few weeks, I'd actually just finished school, so I was mostly I couldn't upload because of that. And then afterwards, there was still like a few things I had to settle with. And not too long after school finished, I had actually finally, well, I actually finally had a reason to go to Florida. See, I have family that lives in Florida, and I don't live in Florida, I should say, but like my family does, some of my family. And one of my family members there, and actually, well, they're in kind of in a very bad condition. Let's just say that. Say the only way they could breathe would be hooked up to a machine. And so, to be honest, they didn't really notice that she didn't really have she couldn't really live very long. Let's just say the only thing keeping her alive was a machine, and she was in a lot of pain, and she did not want to continue living. So basically, everyone decided it would be best for us to pull the plug, and they didn't want everyone to be there in her final moments, more or less. They wanted everyone to be there to be able to give her a chance to say goodbye. Because Nana couldn't really say anything because, well, she was in too much pain, and the pain meds normally kept her mostly numbed out, and she couldn't really do much. She couldn't even really open her eyes. She could still hear us, but she couldn't really see us because she couldn't open her eyes, and she couldn't really move or anything. She lost feeling in most of her body. So yeah, but basically, we were all there. We all got to say our goodbyes. We stayed in Florida for about a week because we were there for like 7 days, and for a few days we got to be with her walk where she we got to be there with her for a few days. Then we were there for like 2 days afterwards. Cause first of all, they were waiting for every one of the family members to kind of be there before pulling the plug. And most of the kids were taken out to get Dairy Queen, and while they pulled the plug. One thing I thought was kind of funny is like the day that they decided to pull the plug, there's actually a thunderstorm a little bit, and the power went out like twice, and she almost died before they could just pull the plug. So, they all saying like, "Dude, I'm just gonna take her then." And luckily, we still got to actually be they still got to be the ones to pull the plug. And the storm didn't kill her. Power came back on this time for her to survive. So, didn't die of power. She did still die that day. So. I'll be honest, I'm not a very emotional person. And I didn't really cry that much about her death. Not as much as I should have, I feel. But to be honest, her death still kind of hit me real hard a little bit. I'm kind of, still kind of sad that she's gone. but I know she's okay. She's in a better place. So is my papa. And then the other things that happened to me is that when we got back from Florida after a whole week, well, not being on the record, we eventually went to the beach because we live in Oklahoma, and near where we live is Clear Creek, a lake called Clear Creek. I'd say that creek was not very clear, you know what I mean? Because I went down that lake and I can't swim. Only two people in my family and my household can actually swim. My sister, I was the youngest of three kids, I'm the oldest, and my dad, you know. Because of that, me and my brother and my mom had to kind of stay certain distances as, as when it comes to, or we can't go past certain distances when it comes to going in the water. And the thing about me is the fact that I'm 6'4", so even though I can't swim, I can go pretty far out in the water. And I went far enough out where at one point I was jumping up and down in the water, not drowning or anything. I was just kind of jumping out to try to show mom because my mom was wanting to know what kind of like swim trunks I was wearing because she forgot the color. So I kind of jumped out of the water to kind of show her my swim trunks color. And she bought me new swim trunks because I literally had not had any swim trunks that I could possibly wear before that day because all my swim trunks were outgrown. And basically, my mom and dad ended up buying me a pair of swim trunks, and they bought me and my brother each towels to use. And to be honest, I didn't get to use my towel because, lo and behold, I ended up landing on a broken bottle when in the river or in the lake or whatever, and I ended up cutting my foot open very badly, very severely. I was in a lot of pain. I honestly I cried more than I did when his death, but still, for sure I did. I don't remember. But basically, I ended up walking, and the downside is the water in the lake was actually reduced from the last time we went there. So like there was a lot more like land. I was actually able to go out even farther than what I normally would because the water wasn't as far upward. So technically, I got basically even farther out than when I went when we went there the previous time before that time. So basically, I had to walk all the way from like really far out to the picnic table that was there at the little campsite area. And even though we didn't camp there, it was still like camps and stuff like that you could set up there, and they had like picnic tables in some places. And I had to walk, and on the way there, I kind of like touched the bottom of my foot, and I looked at my hand, and it was clean, so I didn't think it was bleeding. Then when I got out of the water, and I put on my flip flops and walked all the way to the bench, which was kind of a long walk, if I'm being honest. I took off my flip flop, and I didn't even have to look at my foot. I looked at the flip flop, and it was drenched in blood. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, if I had a picture, I probably would show you guys, but like, I don't know who took a picture of that. If I showed you guys a picture, you guys would probably like vomit or faint or whatever. Like, it was not for the faint of heart, and if it weren't for the fact that blood doesn't really disgust me like that, I'm not really normally disgusted by blood. You know? It's just that I was losing so much blood that it got to a point where I was slowly starting to pass out from how much blood I was losing. Everyone tried to say that I was just being squeamish or fainting because of sight of blood. That wasn't it. I was just losing a lot of blood. I was just starting to become like a blood puddle under my foot. And so basically, eventually they ended up, my dad ended up cutting off a piece of his towel that he was using to kind of wrap my foot in. And eventually I just sat on the bench for the rest of the time where they got basically an extra hour in. Because my mom wanted to stay there for an extra hour. So I cut my foot around like 2:30 something. We left around like 3:30 something or whatever. So they got all up in the water. I sat on the bench and eating a bunch of chips. I almost fainted. Luckily, once I started eating, my strength slowly came back to me. So I just sat there eating chips and drinking Gatorade. And that's pretty much all we really had. Just trying to keep my strength up. Eventually, in the middle of the night, or no, in the middle of the night, like I kind of stayed in my bed for the rest of the day. Once I got inside, my foot really hurt. It had like two very deep cuts in it. And eventually, mom tried to like kind of doctor it up a little bit. She does no medical proficiency or anything. She just kind of like cleaned up the wound and try to like maybe put a band-aid on it or whatever. Eventually, we ended up going to the ER, and they ended up having to put stitches in my foot. So I had stitches in my foot and basically they tried to put like instead of like putting me to sleep, they try to put me, like they try to like numb my foot, and I don't know why, but whenever they try to inject a needle in my foot, like it just hurt a lot, and they had to inject my foot with numbing medicine like several times because my foot basically just would not numb, pretty much like it would not go numb. It's just like several times, like even when they put stitches in, I can still kind of feel the stitches a little bit. Still kind of, it still hurt a bit, but my foot would not go fully numb. And so basically, because of this there was this sort of situation where basically I was in a lot of pain because they had to put stitches in two places in my foot. There were two sets of stitches in my foot, two scars that I had stitches for. And I literally could not walk on my foot for at least a week because of the stitches. And not to saying it would hurt me, I mean, that was obvious, but like, because I literally couldn't walk on the stitches. They had bandaged it up and everything. And eventually, because I actually got the stitches in Sunday night, like basically nighttime, like it was extremely dark out, I could not really get the stitches out until Monday of next week. Okay. So like I had to wait a week plus an extra day, pretty much. And then when the day finally came, which was Monday, it turned out one of the nurses or doctors or whoever, I forget, basically got COVID. So then I had to wait an extra few days. First I had to wait Tuesday, and Mom was planning on taking me to stitches out Tuesday, but then she decided not to. I forget why. And then afterwards, we ended up going Wednesday to get my stitches taken out. And basically then it hurt a lot. I don't lie though, it definitely hurt less getting the stitches taken out than it did for them to go in. And the downside is, when they went in, my foot was supposed to be numb. They didn't put anything numbing wise on my foot when they were taken out. I don't lie though, they were supposed to like rubbing alcohol or something like that on my foot. Mom said it was gonna hurt, but in honesty, the rubbing alcohol didn't hurt at all. It actually felt nice having the damp cloth on my foot. Or with a damp cloth. It actually felt kind of nice. Didn't hurt at all. Stitches taken out though, that hurt. That was the only part of that interaction that caused me pain. Getting stitches taken out. So here it is, like, let's see, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days later, and I still have a bandage on my foot that I have to keep on it. Because even though I got the stitches taken out, I had to put a bandage on because my foot was bleeding when they took the stitches out. At first, it didn't start bleeding at first, and then it just started bleeding, for a few seconds after they got the second stitch out. So I had to give a bandage on it so it's fully healed. Mom was actually planning on making me take a shower today, always, so we can make sure I'm fully good. To be honest though, my foot still hurts when I step on it, just not as much. Matter of fact, it was like when we were supposed to take it out Monday, Tuesday we actually went somewhere. We actually went to put my Nana's urn, because my Nana was cremated just like my papa was. And basically, we had to put her urn in a wall with my papa, basically, at Fort Sill, in Oklahoma. And basically, I ended up that entire day just walking on my stitches pretty much. So, the one thing I was told not to do I ended up doing because, again, it was the day after I was supposed to get them taken out anyways. So basically, I still have the bandage on my foot from the stitches. And yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that's partially the reason why I haven't been able to record or upload. But I also didn't want to try recording until I knew I could walk, because even though I'm not talking in my videos, I still do things better when I'm walking. Like right now, I'm just laying on my bed, and I'm barely able to hold a conversation, even though I'm just talking into a microphone, pretty much. Microphone on my headphones. There's a few occasional stops. I'm unable to keep a train of thought. So yeah, but basically, I wanted to wait until I was able to walk to start recording videos. That way, I can still walk while gaming because it's how I game better. Better when I walk. And I just wanted to go over some extra things for the channel. I'm still going to be doing Soda Dungeon 2 on Sundays. And I'm probably giving up on the Galaxy of the Paper Must-Mean Only challenge. I might eventually continue that. I don't know. I don't know if I ever will, though. I'm still doing Soda Dungeon 2 on Sundays, though. That's going to be a given. And there's specifically one thing I'm planning on doing on the channel. I don't know when. But it will happen. And I'm not gonna say anything about it now because no one has ever done this on YouTube before, and I really want to be the first. Partially because I feel I know I could potentially do it. It's something that is insanely hard to do, but it is possible, and I want to be the first to do it. I'm not gonna say what it is. You're going to have to wait until I make the first episode of the series. And just so you know, I don't even have the game installed, but it's going to be a challenging. It's not one of these games. I don't have the game installed, so you guys won't know. It's not. But I'm going to be doing a series of something that has not been done before. And that series is going to be something I'm probably going to upload on Mondays, if I'm being honest. I'm probably gonna upload like Mondays, and then you're gonna upload it on Mondays or Wednesdays. Then there's another serious idea I have, which the game right here in this folder in the bottom left, Knights of Pen Paper 2 Free Edition. I'm planning on doing a series on that game, but before I do, there's something I actually need to do in the game. See, I'm in real life right now, not on any of my accounts. I have in my wallet, I have $55. And for the $55, I'm planning on buying myself Google Play gift cards to buy gems. See, in this game, you actually need gems to be able to do things. And gems cost real money. Sure, you want ads to get gems occasionally, but see, you need things for gems, okay? And I'm already unlocked the Exchange Student and the Fist Hustle Free DLC, but I still need to unlock the Here Be Dragons DLC, the Back to the Source Dungeon, the Warlock, the Bookworm, the Druid, and the Scion. And I'm planning on unlocking the Life Scarab and Energy Scarab, and maybe the Bomb locations, and a few furniture items. I'm planning on doing a series of this game once. Planning on doing a series of the game once I get a few of the things. Just as you saw, I need to get the Here Be Dragons DLC. I need to get the Back to the Source dungeon. I need to unlock the Bookworm character. I need to unlock the Warlock class. I need to unlock the Druid. And I need to unlock the Scion. And I also need to unlock the Energy and Life Scarabs. And maybe unlock the Bomb location and get some of the furniture that I plan to use for the series. Yeah, but once I get some of that stuff unlocked, then I'll be doing a series of Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Free Edition. And if I'm being honest, I wanted to do a series of the deluxe edition of the game, but it's not on mobile, and the only other way I can play it is on Steam. But I have bought it on Steam, but the game doesn't work on Steam anymore. And what I mean by this is that my Steam copy, just does not work. Whenever I install it, whenever I open it up, it just does not play. It doesn't play any music. And let me open up the game on free edition. I can show you guys something. See, on deluxe edition, and the only things it'll show is the bar at the top in the deluxe edition. There's no such thing as gems, so there's just coins, and there's no in-app purchase to buy more coins. I'm pretty sure. So it would just be the coins all the way farthest to the right. It would be what is the arrow thing with like, or just the button that says magazines and then like it's like two other things. It was just buttons, magazines, and then like the little bar at the top that's behind the buttons, and then not only that, but then there would be the table and the 3 buttons and the 5 chairs and the DM and the Knights of Pen and Paper, the logo minus the free edition because again that game was deluxe edition, as well as the buttons that would be at the bottom, which would be like this Facebook and I believe the Steam button as well. So like only the interactable objects and like only things that would have the ability to, only the things that have the ability to be interactable, as well as the things behind those things. And only what happened is that when playing the game, there would be no sound, but the second I would like go to hit a button, like if I hit play, or if I hit the settings button, which would be its own little button, I wouldn't have to ring like that. But whenever I hit something, it would bring up a menu, and sound would come back a second after, but I would lose the ability to interact with the game as well. And not that, but it would also like at the bottom of things, it would show prompts for me to use like an Xbox controller or something like that. And just something to know: never have I ever owned an Xbox, let alone an Xbox controller. I've played on an Xbox before, don't get me wrong. But there was like years before I ever had an electronic device. Years before I ever even had a phone. This was like back when I lived, not even where I live now, which I lived for several years where I live now. Yeah. And it wasn't even Xbox, it was friends. And if I'm being honest, I don't hate Xbox. I'm just gonna clarify that right now. Xbox is actually a pretty good console. It's just that we have like my family owns PS3, a GameCube that doesn't work, a Wii, like four 2DSs, 3DS and the 3DS XL, and just another 3 of those 4 2DSs don't work. One of the 3DS XL doesn't work. Oh, we also have a DSi that does work, surprisingly. New 3DS XL in the works. We technically have 2 PS3s, I don't know what the other one is, but one of those PS3s is technically a replacement we bought because the first one stopped working. More or less. So, yeah. And then the Wii works just fine. As I said, the GameCube doesn't work. So yeah. As I was saying, the game ends up showing up with like Xbox One problems. And one thing, like, there's only one thing I can think of that could have caused the problem. And that is, like, around the time when the problem started, I used to mostly play my games in my Nana Papa's van. Whenever my Nana Papa would take me anywhere with them, I'd bring my laptop with me. I'd plug my laptop into their van where it had an electro socket where you can plug things into. Which sometimes we brought the Wii, and sometimes I brought my laptop. And one day I brought my laptop, and one of the games I played on my laptop, like always, was Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxe Edition. And when playing this game, one thing I figured out how to do is use Steam Link, which is I would use Steam Link for the game occasionally. And at one point, I think it's just like downloading it on Steam Link or whatever. And basically, when I tried that, and I didn't like download on Steam itself though. I did download on Steam app on my phone or whatever. This was back before the phone that I have today, or back before the phone I have now. And like something like glitched in the game or whatever, something that I did, I feel. I don't really know. And it's just like ever since I've tried to open it up after that point, because to use my laptop, I needed it to connect to Wi-Fi, and my phone now has a hotspot. Phone back then did not have a hotspot. So I had to use my Nana's hotspot to do it. So I don't know if it was because of the fact that I had it connected to my Nana's hotspot, to her phone to her hotspot, and my phone to Steam Link, or whatever. And there's some things going to end up happening. I don't know. Look, I'll admit I am a sciencey tech kind of guy, but I don't really know everything. I'm still more or less just a child, pretty much. I understand I'll be literally turning 18 next month. Actually, in less than a month, in 5 days a month, July 20th this month, July 20th this year, I'll be turning 18. So yeah, but basically, I still have a lot to learn. I still don't know a lot. And so basically, I am unable to play my deluxest edition of Knights of Pen and Paper 2. So because of that, I'm only able to play the free edition. Honestly, I'm really glad though that I also have Galaxy Pen and Paper Plus 1 edition and Knights of Pen and Paper Plus 1 edition and the regular game Plus 1 edition on Steam and on mobile. And both Steam and mobile, these two games, both of them are kind of separate. So on Galaxy Pen and Paper, the 3 save files I have on mobile are completely separate from the 3 save files I have on Steam. Meaning that technically I have 6 save files of the game. At least I can have 6 save files of the game. And then for Knights of Pen and Paper 1, it's kind of the same thing. Where I basically just have, 6 save files, basically. Also, I still plan to do that series idea that I had in my first video that I made that was talking about how I didn't have my voice. Last video I made since I stopped doing my voice. But I'm still planning on trying to be Knights of Paper 1 with only passive abilities. Downside is though, I haven't really been on my phone that much recently. So I haven't been playing most of the games that I've been needing to play. Because of that, I haven't been playing the Knights of Paper game that much. And because of that, I don't have very many coins in it. I'll get in the game right now and show you guys. Just only that, but the game also does kind of like this. When I try to play it, I'm just going like this. It always does this, but I don't know why. Here's that notification. It's not like it's actually saving progress. So I only have 4,626. And I know I could potentially buy more gold with my money. But I'm really wanting to save it to buy gems in the other game. We'll see. Okay, for a second I thought I stopped recording and the button just went. So yeah, but I have 3 games, save states or whatever. I'm using one of them for going to kind of collect gold. So yeah, but basically, yeah, I'm more or less just trying to get all the gold in the game because I'm wanting to start one of my when I do end up doing trying to beat Knights of Paper 2 or Knights of Paper Plus 1 edition using only passive abilities. I'm wanting to be able to start my run with a full team of 5 characters. That way, I can, in fact, basically, I want to do 5 characters that way. I can get every character up in a good level and not any characters behind levels without having to. Because I want to make sure no characters are behind levels. I'm not wanting to have to spend even more gold on experience potions to try to level them up. I feel like the only reason I should have to use experience potions is if one of them is dying a bunch in battle, so I'm having to use experience potions to get them leveled up to where everyone else is. So yeah. So basically, I'm probably going to wait to do the Knights of Paper 1 though, plus 1 edition, and Knights of Paper 2 free edition, also going to have to wait. Because for Knights of Paper 2 free edition, I'm planning on waiting to do my series on that game until after I've unlocked all the character customization ability. And to do that, first I need to purchase some gems. I'll find something to get gems that first, I don't know. And I first need to purchase some gems and buy the rest of the stuff that I need to unlock. Now, being honest, I know I probably don't really need to purchase the Back to the Source Dungeon. Excuse me, I had a burp. I know I don't need to purchase just the Back to the Source Dungeon to be able to get more story stuff or whatever. But I do want to have both the Fistful of Fury DLC and the Here Be Dragons quest line for when I do a series of the game. Because when I do end up doing the series of the game, one thing I plan to do is I plan to try to challenge myself with a few group challenges. And one of the challenges I want to do is I want to basically end up trying to beat the game with only 2 characters is one of the challenges. And the way I want to do this is that I know for a fact one of the characters I want to use is going to be a Jock Monk because it's one of the strongest single target hitters in the entire game. One of the strongest classes you can get in the entire game is a Jock Monk. Okay. And all you have to do is either make the Jock Monk either a dwarf or a human. And the reason why you want to make the Jock Monk either a dwarf or a human is because let me show you. I'm going to get in the game right now because here's the thing. I've unlocked the Monk class already. Because as you saw, I got the Fistful of Fury DLC. I have done the quest on one of my save files to do unlock. As you see, I have spent gems on some furniture. I got the spooky curtains and the poker table. For some reason, my game seems to have glitched. I don't know tracks. Okay. I'm going to play a new game on this save file. I'm just going to spam through this. We're not really playing the game yet. I'm just showing you guys the most powerful character in the game. Because, I want to show you guys 2 things. One, the best team for farming. And 2, the best single target hitting character. Also, one thing I plan to do a series on in this game is covering the major, the multi-target, or the majorly powerful, multiple team build. Okay, so let's see. So I'm putting on, see what else. The reason why you want to put, this is the Jock Monk. Okay, I don't only make him human, but you can also make him dwarf, because that's good too. Elf isn't as helpful though, I feel. Plus 4 energy, because this short 16 energy and swap health energy, that's good, nice and good for elf, but probably the main reason you're going to want to get a Jock Monk though, for the main reason to get a Jock Monk, you either want to make him human or dwarf. And the reason for this is that with human, you get to start the game with an extra skill point as well as, you get mind, which is also good, but that's not the reason why you're shooting. You want that extra skill point, and when your first skill point, the martial arts passive. Okay, you're gonna want to you're gonna just dump your points into martial arts passive. So just go crazy with it, pretty much. And the reason for this is that every upgrade, basically, that critical percentage is flat. You will get a flat 1% critical with the first level, no matter what. But that 15 damage, that's for each empty hand slot. And because in the Jock's ability, Big Hands gives you an extra hand slot. So because of that, most characters with full empty hands would only get plus 30. Meanwhile, the Jock would get plus 45 for a full empty hands. Because of this, the Jock because the Jock has 3 hand slots, it means that the damage bonus that it gets from having empty hands is a times 3 and not a times 2, like every other character. And because of that, that basically means that the Jock is actually the best for the Monk class. And then with the human giving extra skill points, that means you start with the 45 extra damage right off the bat. Meanwhile, dwarf just means you do more damage in general. Dwarf having the body is damage, threat, health, and energy. It basically just means that you have more damage overall. So with human, that's 34 to 56. With dwarf, it's 38 to 62. But you have to wait an extra turn for that martial arts, pretty much. So with human, it's right off the bat, 34 to 56 plus 45. So let's see, 34 plus 45. That is a total of, I believe, 79 minimum damage. Plus 54, 45 to 56 is a maximum of 101 damage. So, yeah. The only difference is, so human would actually be better for starting with more damage, and then dwarf would be better for having more base damage without the move, without the ability, and with also having that damage reduction. So yeah. So that's like the best damage as single target damage output character. And on that, once you get enough points in the martial arts passive, it's okay to put points in the 1 point in acrobatics at least. +2 indicate all incoming attacks on minis with conditions. That's good to have. That's somewhat okay. I know almost never use it though. Almost. And then there's napalm, which once you get this up to a crazy amount, you want to unlock napalm. Because this means you're doing 108% of not just the 34 to the 56, but the 34 to 56 plus the 45, or or whatever numbers you have at whatever level or whatever martial arts. So you're not just doing 100. So you wouldn't just be doing 100%, 108% of your basic of just your flat damage. 108% of your flat damage plus this, this would affect your flat damage. So you're doing this a bunch, and then you do this, and it's like a deadly combo. And because the napalm ability inflicts burn, and chances are they're not going to survive the attack. But if they do, then you have the burn high enough, then they probably won't survive the burn either. And second wind, I literally never use second wind. I don't think I've literally ever used second wind. Second wind is the only ability that I can genuinely say that I have not at all used ever in this game. Because I'm pretty sure I've literally used every other ability from every other class, even in the deluxe edition, which is the one where I get gun. Because in the deluxe edition I've actually unlocked everything. Yeah, but then there was a few other than just using a Jacqueline. There's actually a really good team build for when you're wanting to do a lot of grinding for money. I'm gonna show you guys, I'll tell you guys the best strat. What you want to do is when making a new save file, you want to make a rich kid human mage and a goth human thief. Now, if you pay attention, these three stats are the same for both of them. But that's not the reason why I want them. When you make the rich kid human mage, you want to put all their points into Fireball. Never put anything else into Fireball during the time of grinding. Okay. And then when you make the goth human, and then when making the goth human and thief, you want to put all their points into Barrage of Knives. And the reason why you want to do this when using a human and mage and human or rich kid mage and goth thief is because these two abilities are the best multi-target hitting abilities. Don't get me wrong, Barrage of Knives is definitely better than Fireball when it comes to multi-target, because Barrage of Knives does basic damage to all the enemies, just the target and all surrounding in one turn. Meanwhile, if there's enemies have this effect on them, then the damage is doubled, even if it's critical. And then with Fireball, the problem is that it does flat damage to one enemy and inflicts a condition that does slightly less damage to every other. Because that Barrage Knight is actually better than Fireball. But Fireball actually costs less though. So there's also that. And both characters will have the same amount of MP and HP for a level up. Let's see, yeah, but basically, there's a few different ideas I had for challenges for this game. One, I was going to try to basically beat the game using only 2 characters, and I probably wouldn't use my grinding file characters, like the characters I put on that I make solely for gaining experience on. You're always gaining gold and something. I probably wouldn't do those characters. And then my other idea was to basically make a team of 3. I was gonna try to be with 3, and I was gonna use like a jock, a rich kid, and a lab rat. And I was gonna make the jock a dwarf, or for having extra. I was going to make the rich kid an elf, and I was going to make the lab rat a human. And then I was also going to make them basically different things for like different classes for whichever one has the most or whatever. So for instance, I have a ninja right now. So I would make ninja senses, so I'd make them the rich kid elf, giving them a total of 10 senses. Which as you can see gets them 10% critical and 10 initiative. So I'm being honest, definitely seems pretty insane. But whatever. I was just saying though, like the ninja has 1 body and 1 mind. Elf has just 1 senses. And Richard has 3 senses. And like even though with that being the case, they still has like 3 body and 3 mind. That's because every single one of the characters have at least like 1, 2, or at least 2 in their stats. The one you choose doesn't really choose their stats, but what like bonus they get to the 2, 2, 2. So like your rich kid has kid and human an elf ninja. Out of these, like out of these 3, they have a total of 1 body and 1 mind. So because of that, they have 1 added to their 2 body, 1 added to their 2 mind, and they have the rich has 3 senses. The elf has 1 sense, that's 4, plus an extra 4 from ninja, adds a total of 8 senses. So that's 8 added 2 and 8 to 10 senses. So yeah. But either way, I still technically need to unlock a few extra classes. Because I still need to unlock the Warlock, the Druid, and the Scion. And I still need to unlock the Hero Dragon's Quest line and then unlock the Knight class. Luckily, there's no class to unlock in Back to the Source. But it's still something I feel like I need to try to unlock. So, but just hopefully I don't have to play through it. So, yeah. But either way, one thing I had an idea for though, for a series, I was going to try to make like 2 characters that kind of represent me in some way, shape, or form. So like I was going to try to make one of them, like here's the I shouldn't delete that progress link. Like basically they're like 2 classes that could represent me, and 2 characters that represent me. I don't have either one of the 2 classes, but I have both of the characters that can be used to represent me. Here, I'll show off the 2 characters that I have. And just need to know, for both of the characters, I was going to make one of them human and one of them dwarf. And the reason for this, even though you guys always know, and I always say I'm 6'4", there's a reason why I picked dwarf. And see, there are 2 races that are human, which let's say it's not because I'm human, because obviously I'm human in real life. Because that 1 extra skill point would represent me, is the fact that there are always 3 things that I've always been kind of just naturally good at, and the skill point, getting extra skill point in the beginning, or strength extra skill point, can be a way to represent how, even though I never really trained in these 3 things, I still am like naturally good at understanding how to skill them. These 3 things being singing, cooking, and shooter games. Specifically stuff like mobile shooter games, like Call of Duty Mobile, especially on 3D, games like those. I've always been like pretty good at those games. Even though they're like the type of game that I normally play. And then Dwarf I choose because the damage reduction. And if you know me in real life, you know, I can take a pretty big beating. I have pretty good pain tolerance. I can be hit very heavily. Even though I can't hit very hard, I can definitely be hit very heavily. I can take a hit very much. So yeah, and then the characters that I was going to choose that can basically represent me One is the lab rat. And the reason why I'm kind of the lab rat is because I am definitely a science guy. I like the things. I like the robotic side of science. You know, I'm like robotic chemicals, and I'm like a mad scientist and that. And then the other character represents me as the exchange student, which is the introversion and 10% more experience. Seriously, I've never left America, you know, so like I'm not really foreign in any way. But like, I am in fact introverted. So introversion, you know, and the 10% more experience. I am a fast learner, and I learn better through experience, if you know what I mean. And the thing about wisdom, there's why I'm the wise barbarian and not the intellectual brute. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm the wise barbarian is because the reason why I'm wise is because wisdom is knowledge gained through experience, meanwhile intelligence is just knowledge gained. Intelligence is knowledge gained because now you know, like being told something, reading something, There's a reason why when you think of someone who's intellectual, you think of them reading a book, or just holding a book and reading it wherever they go. Meanwhile, wisdom, most time when you think of someone's wise, you think of the elderly, because it's knowledge gained through wisdom is knowledge gained through experience, and the elderly are the people who have experienced the most of life. That's why most elderly are considered wise, not smart. Wise, not intellectual. That's why when you're young, you're considered intellectual, and when you're old, you're considered more wise. Because then you've experienced. And I experienced quite a bit in my life. I know I'm only 17 now, I'm going to be 18, but I've experienced quite a bit. I know I still got a lot more to experience. I tend to, through games and through shows, I've experienced quite a bit in my day-to-day life. Sure, quite a bit of things I experience is pain, but hey, at least it's just physical. At least it's just physical pain. Yeah, but I know that, but I am a fast learner when it comes to things. I learn new things very quickly, very quick to adapt to things, and basically having the extra percent more experience, and the fact that it's called introversion, like this ability, this passive ability, basically have three ways it can be linked to myself. Introversion, which is the fact that I'm introverted. Extra experience with the fact that even though I'm young for my age, I've still experienced quite a lot. And I'm a fast learner. Because of the experience means you level up faster, and I'm a fast learner. Which means I've learned things quicker. I know the more skill points quicker and whatnot. So yeah. So basically, because of that. Because of that, there's going to be a situation where one character's going to be leveling up faster than the other. To be honest, I'm probably going to make the exchange student the dwarf, even though I feel like maybe it'd be better to make the lab rat the dwarf, because, to be honest, seriously, the lab rat has like 3 to mind, the exchange student has 1 to body and 2 to mind, so I feel like making the exchange student to dwarf would not really fit me as much. Because even though the exchange student being a dwarf kind of represents me more than the lab student and the dwarf both kind of fit me more, I feel like giving the exchange student the human levels up faster and starts an extra skill slot, an extra skill point, as well as giving the lab rat level up slower and starts with the extra skill point. I feel it makes much more strategic sense to make the lab rat the human and the dwarf and the exchange student the dwarf. Literally, no, I'm not short. I'm just built and physically sturdy. Let's just say if I was a Pokemon, my special ability would definitely be sturdy. It's hard to one-shot me. Don't get me wrong, I still feel pain like everyone else, but the difference is, my pain wears off faster. I feel if I had to choose a third thing to represent me, it'd probably be the Surfer, which is a character that I never use. Mom's calling from here, something on the pause. Okay, we're back. my mom was having trouble cutting an apple. We have this apple slicing thing you're supposed to like put it on top of the apple and just like push down. She was having trouble with it and she couldn't really get the door open because she was holding the plate and the apple thing. And she tried to get my attention. I couldn't really do it either. She's probably gonna be back, so I probably have to pause this again. Yeah, but as I was saying, the third thing that would probably represent me would be the Serverless Chill ability, which I can be pretty chill sometimes. Automatic recover from random condition each turn. I do recover from pain quite a bit. I tend to not hurt very long when it comes to certain things. I'm gonna switch this to Mage real quick. So yeah. But like human and dwarf, like things that best represent me though. And lab rat. Lab rat. And exchange student definitely fit me more than surfer. Even though surfer's passive ability fits me better than the lab rat's passive ability. I mean, I do prefer pants with pockets in them though. I do just, you know. It's just that being a lab rat definitely fits me better than anything, or any form of physical activity. You know, I am a giant nerd. I am a nerd through and through. I am Sir Nerd McNerdington, pretty much. And lab rat is just one nerd classification of nerd, pretty much. And I am Nerd McNerdington, king of nerds. And I'm proud to be a nerd. But basically, as I was saying, there's still like two classes that represent me. And one of them I haven't unlocked yet, but one of them is one of the classes that you have to unlock by doing a mission. And the other one is one of the classes you unlock by using a gem purchase, you know. So, yeah. I'll actually show off the gem purchase. The gem purchase one is actually the warlock. Because if you don't know me, you know, I can be pretty dark sometimes, you know. Dark side of magic, spending some of your own life force, steal life, reanimate the dead, spread blight, and summon dangerous demons to aid you. I don't know why, I'm just more of a dark person. I try to be happy sometimes, but I do, like, casually talk about death, pretty much. I would casually talk about death. Like, death does not faze me very much. I'm definitely a dark person. I love skeletons. I'm a big fan of zombies. Skeletons are best, though. Skeleton better than zombie. What do you mean about it? I'm definitely the type of guy who would shake hands with the devil. Not trying to make a deal or anything, just getting to know him, you know. I genuinely want to meet the devil. Just to see what he's like, you know, get to know the guy. Everyone knows what's the ruler of hell, but like, he's probably not that bad. He's probably an okay guy, right? You know, give the guy a chance, you know. I understand like the whole point of like the Christian religion where it's like the devil bad, God good, blah 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 blah. But like, think about it. You really think the devil is bad? It's like saying they're always saying the devil is evil because he's supposed to punish like 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 evil souls. You know, it's like saying the cops are bad because they put criminals in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to say that like oh the devil torments evil souls so like he's good. You know, I'm just saying like don't assume something about someone you don't know. You know what I'm saying? No one really knows the devil. No one's. It seems like every time someone goes to die and comes back to life, it seems like they meet God. They never meet the devil. You know, it's like everyone's supposedly met God, but no one really meets the devil. You know, like the devil, he's probably a nice guy. For all we know, he could literally be like the nicest guy you've ever met. And yet, everyone acts like he's the most evil person. Like, I understand he lives in hell. He's the ruler of a land where where evil souls are meant to be tormented, you know? But it's basically the equivalent of saying the warden of a prison is, like all prison wardens are evil because they basically run the place where evil people are kept, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, TV has always tried to say, like, oh, wardens are evil because blah, blah, blah. But, like, the thing is, like, it's just. No one knows the devil is, no one knows who the guy is, no one knows really what they're like. I'm just trying to say, maybe the devil isn't a bad guy. I'm not trying to worship the devil or anything. I'm not satanic cultist or whatever. I don't worship the devil. If I'm being honest, I barely worship anyone or anything. Closest thing I really worship or anything is probably my extreme love of pizza. But I'm being honest, who doesn't like just worship pizza pretty much? It is delicious, especially mac and cheese pizza. But as I was saying before I exited the game, there was like one other class that kind of fit me, and that one other class is the Barbarian class. And the reason why I use Barbarian class is because I am the wise barbarian, you know? I feel it honestly makes sense if I make like the exchange student character the Barbarian as well. Partially because I'll probably make the exchange student the Dwarf Barbarian, which honestly is one of my favorite things to see in TikToks. Because I'll be honest, you don't see the TikTok app installed on my device, but that's because I don't have it installed on my device. I never install my device. So I just go to YouTube and look at D&D TikTok compilations. Because D&D TikToks and animation TikToks are the only good TikToks, and I prefer to watch them on YouTube and not on TikTok. Yeah. I honestly prefer D&D TikToks and animation TikToks over some of the even YouTube stories that are needed. Especially this one guy, his name is Quincy. It was Quincy's Tavern on TikTok. He's actually pretty good. I suggest following him on TikTok. And there's one animation YouTuber who does the most animations on TikTok first. That's nice when doing them on YouTube. They'll like change the animation a bit. Yeah, change like maybe a drawn word or whatever. They're on YouTube and TikTok. In which case, and I'm actually subscribed to them on YouTube. Their channel name is Nutshell Animations. They're actually pretty good. Subscribe to them and follow them on their respective platforms of YouTube and TikTok. Yeah. I'll be honest though, I do have a TikTok account. I think I have like actually 2 though. Forget though. My allergies are starting to act up. My roof of my mouth's starting to get itchy. So yeah, basically, let's say. Basically, there's just a few series that I plan to do. Haven't been able to upload because of many things going on, one after the other. But luckily tomorrow, which today's Saturday, so tomorrow's Sunday, I'll be uploading this video Sunday, along with a no audio Shadow Dungeon 2 video. And I'll be uploading this video first, and then after this video is uploaded, then I'll upload the Shadow Dungeon 2 video. I just want to let you guys know, future potential series, I'm just going to spread out, potential, involve games, Knights of Pen and Paper 2 free edition, and Knights of Pen and Paper +1 edition. And then there will be a new series coming soon, a never done before, not just never seen before, never even done before series on YouTube. So if you guys want to see that never done before YouTube video idea, and you guys are gonna probably hit subscribe. I know I don't tell you guys to subscribe very often, but that's because I kind of prefer having my low subscriber count. It means that if I don't upload for a long time, no one really cares, because I'm not a big time YouTuber. I can take breaks that are necessary for my health. Sad thing is though, I keep taking breaks that are better for my physical health than for my mental health, you know. Just really breaks and important. So really that's kind of all for now. Also, I'm actually going to give you guys a nice hint to what the new series will be. Okay, I will tell you something. Okay, it is a challenge run of a game. As in a challenge that has been done before, but not for this game. And the game itself is a Pokemon clone on mobile devices. I think it might be on Steam too, though. I have no idea. I'm probably gonna check that after I finish recording this. I'm gonna check, see if it's like something I could potentially do on my laptop. Also, I just remember there was another idea for a series I plan to do on my channel, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. See the game right there in the bottom right of this folder, Torm Online. I have this game on both my phone and my laptop, and I've already played it quite a bit on my phone, but I was planning on playing this game on laptop as well as part of a YouTube series where I will be playing through the game with me, potentially my brother, and a friend of ours. If I can convince him to play too. But as far as I know, I do not know. I don't think there's a way I can potentially record this game and later as well. So I have no idea how to screen record on my laptop. I want to play the game on my laptop and play it on YouTube. It doesn't know though that when I play the game on my laptop on YouTube, I'm going to be playing the game from the beginning, right from the beginning all the way to the end, pretty much. So my phone, I found out that whenever you, after creating a character, or the first time, you get to play through the game's like beginning tutorial, and you're given the caravan daggers from the main tutorial group. But if once you create your second or third character though, then you no longer go through that main tutorial, and you no longer get the caravan daggers, whatnot. So I know for a fact that if I want to do a series on my laptop, I'm probably not going to be able to play the game on my laptop until I do the new series, unless I potentially just sign into my account that's on my phone, link that onto my laptop, and then just play the game and do the series on my phone. I mean, honestly, I prefer if I did the series on my laptop. So basically, again, a future series might be Torm Online. But that series idea probably won't happen for a long time. As I was saying about the other series that I'm going to be giving hints of, the series of a game, a free-to-play mobile game. It is a Pokemon clone that I will be doing a Nuzlocke of. But I'm not going to tell you what the game is. I'm not going to tell you the rules until we do the Nuzlocke. I'm doing a Nuzlocke of a Pokemon Online game. It's on mobile. And I don't know if it's on Steam. It might be on Steam too. But I do know it's on mobile because I played it before. I'll be doing a Nuzlocke of it. I'm not going to tell you what the game is, because I don't want to take the chance that some other YouTuber finds this video and does the series before me. Because I really want to be the first YouTuber to do a Nuzlocke of this game. Because it's not a Pokemon game, but it is a Pokemon-like game. And I want to do a Nuzlocke of the game, basically. And when doing the Nuzlocke, I want to be the first, because I know for a fact that if I'm the first, then it allows me to come up with the actual rules for the challenge. And then it also allows me to be able to kind of set the trend, Because people have played the game on YouTube before, but no one's done a Nuzlocke of it. And the thing is, though, it's a light game. Doing a Nuzlocke of it wouldn't be that hard, unless you do not know how to play it. And as someone who's beaten the game before, I've beaten the story mode campaign to it. The thing is, though, around the time that I beat the story mode campaign, it was like when I started that story mode campaign, multiplayer was not added to the game yet. But midway through, they came out with multiplayer. And this was back when you literally did not need any sort of Wi-Fi to be able to play the game, which is why it was one of the major games I played. Eventually, though, they added multiplayer, which for a while you didn't need Wi-Fi to play the game, but you did need Wi-Fi to access the multiplayer. Nowadays, though, you literally need Wi-Fi to play the game. You need Wi-Fi or data. You need some form of internet connection to be able to play the game in general. It used to be you didn't need Wi-Fi to play the game, like in any way, shape, or form, for multiplayer. Then they came out with multiplayer. You need Wi-Fi for that. We still didn't need Wi-Fi to play the campaign. Now, you absolutely need Wi-Fi to play the entire game. Any bit of the game, you need like an internet connection. And so basically, they even try to force you into the multiplayer in the beginning. Like if it's after you beat the first gym leader. Not gym leader, but I can't really say because then it would give away the surprise. But like, obviously, a Pokemon-like game would have something like gym leaders. I mean, it doesn't have gym leaders. I think it doesn't have gyms. It doesn't have enough types to have gyms. If I'm honest. I will say for one thing though, there are only 4 types of the collected creature, whatever. I don't want to call it a creature, but like, there's only 4 types of the things in the game. And one of those 4 types is literally not having a type. We call it typeless. And then the other 3 types are rock, paper, and scissors. Now, I don't know if that really gave away anything too severely about the game, but probably going to end up recording and do the series on... Since I'm doing Soda Dungeon 2 on Sundays, I'm probably going to start like uploading on Saturdays and then uploading this series on Mondays, or I'm just going to upload this series on like Wednesdays or Thursdays. I'm not really sure, I'm being honest though. Probably gonna still upload Soda Dungeon 2 on Sundays, and then upload the new series. Because this new series I can definitely do probably right now, Like the other series I have planned, I still need to work out some things. Or like the Torm Online series, I need to figure out how I'm going to record on my laptop. And where not, I can get my friend and my brother away to record with me. And then for the Knights Runner 2 game, free edition, I still need to use my money to buy some gems, to be able to unlock a lot of things in the shop. And I need to play enough to unlock both the Barbarian class and the Knight class. I also need to buy the Life and Energy Scarabs. I need to buy the bone modification packs. I need to buy a bunch of the furniture. I'm not gonna wait to buy all the furniture, but I just need to buy some of the furniture. So yeah. And so basically, with the Nice One Paper Plus 1 edition gameplay series, I still need to get a whole bunch more coins. Basically, I still need to collect a whole lot of coins to be able to start the series by us having a full team, and also maybe getting them some items like series and whatnot. Trying to gain the passive abilities to be hard. And then there's Knights Runner 2, and then for the Galaxy Pen and Paper series, I'm assuming only that series is probably just over. Probably never gonna touch it ever again, if I'm honest. I'm not sure. So basically, there's Knights Runner 2, eventual series, 12 Millennium series, Knights Runner Paper 1, or Knights Runner Plus 1 edition. Passively only a potential series. Sort of Dungeon 2, Road to 50, it will still continue, and it'll have its next episode uploaded after this update video is uploaded on the same day, hopefully, if I can remember to. And then the new special series, if I'm being honest, I'm probably gonna upload it Wednesday. Probably not gonna put it off. I still want to make sure I keep a consistent upload schedule, so I'm still gonna only upload on Sundays and Wednesdays, Soda Dungeon 2 on Sundays, and this new series will probably be next Wednesday. And when I say next Wednesday, I mean this Wednesday, which will be this Wednesday tomorrow. This is next Wednesday. It's already been this. Well, it's getting confusing. It's currently Saturday for me. I'm gonna be uploading this Sunday. If it's just Sunday when you guys see this, when it just uploads. So for me, this Wednesday is already passed. This Wednesday right now, for me, is already passed. Because this Wednesday, and the Wednesday this week was already passed. Wednesday next week, which is literally next week, literally starts tomorrow. Which for you guys it'll be Wednesday this week. This week, next week. So I'm a little confused. Okay. All I know is just know the Wednesday after this video, and then the next episode of Soda Dungeon 2. The Wednesday after this video and Soda Dungeon 2 will be probably the first episode of the new Nuzlocke of the game that no one has ever Nuzlocked. Just something to know though is that I'm gonna let you guys know right now about the game we're Nuzlocking. I'm going to Nuzlocke. See, the game is a very difficult and hard to kind of beat game, even if you aren't Nuzlocking it. So we're probably almost definitely not going to succeed our first time playing through a Nuzlocke of the game. And one thing I'm going to do for the series is that I'm going to play through the game in the Nuzlocke fashion until it's beaten. Also, I'll be making I'll be making when I go to install the game on my device, I'll be playing on my phone when I'm recording this on. I'll be installing Google Slides, and I'll be making a slide that will show the rules for the Nuzlocke. Since as the first person who's doing the Nuzlocke, I'll be making a rule slide for the Nuzlocke. A slideshow of all the rules. And on the slide, I'll be giving both the non-hardcore and the hardcore rule set. Or at least the hardcore modifications tools, as well as the hardcore rules. I'll give them the non-hardcore rules, the hard rules, and the hardcore modifications to non-hardcore rules. Because when playing hardcore, you'll play with the non-hardcore rules, but some of the non-hardcore rules will be modified, and also some added bonus rules that will be strictly hardcore mode. So yeah, but basically, I'll be installing the game in Google Slides, and in the beginning of the video, I'll be doing 2 recordings. One that's just me going through the slides after they've been made, and then I'll have the recording of the actual first episode. Once I have them both recorded, I will just use my screen recording software to edit them together, so that way, whenever they end up being uploaded, they're uploaded as one video. That way I don't have just few seconds of upload of just like a slideshow with no music, and then immediately going to the audio of the gameplay. It's a separate video. But basically, that's gonna be it for now. I've already reached past the hour mark for this recording. I actually didn't realize I'd be able to actually record for this long, for being honest. Once again, I'm kind of glad that my Soda Dungeon 2 series is recorded on my tablet, not my phone. That way, for a fact, I can actually still record Soda Dungeon 2 and upload it without having to delete this video and re-record it. So that's all for now. You guys will be seeing this the day after I recorded it, which is Saturday, June 25th. I'll be uploading this tomorrow, Sunday, June 26th. And then once I'm done recording this, I'm going to set Google Slides and then the game to install. That will be Nuzlocking. And after doing that, I'm just going to start recording the Soda Dungeon 2 gameplay, and that's going to be it. That's probably going to be another 30-minute episode of Soda Dungeon 2. But that's it for now. See y'all next time I record. And again, this will be the last time I have my voice until I need another big update because reasons. No, again. So after this video, it's back to no voice and in all my game videos. Excuse me, I'm burping again. Not really drinking it anymore. I'm burping much. I was saying this is gonna be it for now. Till next time. Bye. I said bye when you start recording.